BookTubeAthon 2014 is here, yay! And so we are on the verge of kicking off one of, if not the biggest event in the booktube community, and that is the BookTubeAthon. Last year was the first year of it, and I had an awesome time, as I believe many of you did as well. And so I am very excited to share with you my TBR pile for this year's event. So there are 7 challenges, which I'm pretty sure is about the same amount that we had last year. Some are kind of similar, some are a little different. I'm just gonna go through and share with you what I've picked out to correspond with each thing. So the first one is read a book with pictures. And this doesn't necessarily have to be like a graphic novel, it can just be a novel with pictures. And what I decided to do was apply as many of these to my actual bookshelf here as possible so that I can just, you know, plow through a bunch of these books rather than going out and buying more books or going to the library. So I did find a book with pictures, and that was Home by Julie Andrews. This is a memoir of her early years, and the pictures are in a bunch in the middle of the book. So there are pictures, they're not spread out everywhere, but they are around. There's some more back here. But that way I can knock a book off my shelf, and I've also been in the mood to read this book, so that's good. The next one is to start and finish a series, which is really hard to do unless you think about duologies or maybe even a trilogy. I turned to people on Twitter, and Rincey from Rincey Reads suggested to me that I read the Anna Dressed in Blood duology. And she said it was a really good series, very fast-paced, which is obviously what you're looking for. So I went to the library, the local library, and grabbed both Anna Dressed in Blood and Girl of Nightmares. These are by Kendare Blake, and they are young adult novels. These should be a really good way to knock number 2 off that list. They also cover the third challenge, which is read a book with red on the cover, because there is red here, there's red here as well. However, before I went out and figured out I was going to read these books, I had picked out one from my own shelf that had a little bit of red on it. It also helps me with the final challenge, which is to read 7 books or roughly 300 pages a day. I can't promise that I'm going to do 300 pages a day. That was a hard one last time. It was really hard to do, so I'd rather aim to just try and do 7 books. So this is my 7th book, also my backup for the red on the cover, and that is Pandemonium by Lauren Oliver. This is the 2nd book following Delirium, and I still have yet to read it. There's not really any red on this part of the cover, but if you do turn it over, there's some red flowers back here, some stuff going on, and I know I'll be able to breeze through it pretty quickly because Delirium was also an easy read. The 4th one, I actually really like this one. It's read a book that someone else picks out for you. So what I did was basically took a picture of my bookshelf and sent it to Leslie and said, all right, pick out one of these books. Which one of these should I read? And she happened to pick out one that I am very much in the mood to read, and that is The Diviners by Libba Bray. It's a nice big book, but I think it'll be one of those ones where I can just, you'll get really engrossed in the story and be able to go right, you know, push right through it and finish it off before the end of the week. Number 5 is read a book from a genre that you have read the least this year. And looking at my shelf versus my Goodreads challenge so far, I've realized that I have not read a mystery crime thriller this year. I am reading In Cold Blood, but that is a non-fiction book, so I think it kind of falls into a different category. And so I decided to pick up a book that I just purchased not too long ago, and that is The Cuckoos Calling by Robert Galbraith / J.K. Rowling. I'm just really in the mood for a book like this, and I think it's perfect because it is a category that I haven't really delved into yet. And the 2nd book, The Silkworm, just came out, so if I like this, I'm gonna go buy the other one. Number 6 was read a book and then watch the book-to-movie adaptation. I was looking at my shelves going, I don't think I have one. And then I realized I did. I have Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and there is a movie to this. It was made in 1940, and it was directed by Alfred Hitchcock. So I will hopefully be able to make my way through this book and then potentially be able to make my way through that movie. Me and older movies are kind of eh. Sometimes I feel extremely bored just because it's a different kind of way they made the movies back then. Different pacing, different way people spoke. I'm gonna give this challenge a shot, but I'm honestly a little worried about it already. It is, however, a psychological thriller, so I think that's gonna help. And then finally, I mentioned this one already, which is the last challenge, to read 7 books or 300 pages a day. I have exactly 7 books here, so if I can make my way through all of these books, I will have successfully completed all of the challenges. I am also going to attempt to film a video every day and update of how things are going, but it'll be rough, probably unedited, just so I can get it up and keep you guys updated on how I'm doing. I want to know what you guys are reading. If you have filmed a TBR, feel free to link it down below. If you don't make videos but you're still participating, feel free to let me know what you are reading. I'm looking forward to the Twitter sprints, to just sitting down and reading and knowing that tons and tons of other people are also doing that same thing at that very moment. Thank you guys very much for watching, and good luck.